good, YouTube? So today's video is about why I quit my job to do Forex full time. I'm going to give a brief backstory in reference to why I quit my job and started doing Forex full time. So before I started to do Forex, I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? Like most people in their 20s and stuff like that. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know that I wanted to do something great in reference to changing my family legacy and basically having money. I wanted to do something great, but I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. At this time, I was working at a call center. Not gonna name the call center, we're just gonna say call center. At this time, I was working at a call center about me and two friends at the time. Me and two friends, I said to one of my friends on, I don't remember the day was, but it was an early morning, we were catching breakfast, and I said to one of my friends that by the end of the year, I'm probably gonna make 300K, or I'm gonna find something that make me 300K, which was Forex. I didn't know what I wanted to do at this time. Bear in mind, I didn't have Forex at this time, didn't come across it or anything. I did come across it, sorry about that. So I did come across it, but this was back in 2019, 2020, around COVID time. But I did drop it, right? Fast forwarding up to the time when I told my friend that I wanted to do something that was gonna make me 300K at the end of the year, or 300K a month. This is exactly the word that I said to him. He like most people, they're not gonna believe, but I had this in my mind, strongly in my mind, how I like find it Forex and stuff like that. So I was in the locker room the day, I think it was roughly a Monday or Tuesday. I was in the locker room. There was this guy, he was trading Forex on his phone. Like, he was at his locker, he was on the charts, trading Forex. He placed 2 orders, and I was like, probably I need to take a look into that. Bear in mind, I still didn't take a look into it. But I still had it in my back of my mind. Sorry about the noise, there was rain outside, stuff like that. But I still had it back in my mind. Going up in those months, I'm gonna say this, my girlfriend left me. So my girlfriend left me going up in that month. And I was like, shit. I need to stop focusing on women and start focusing on the bread, getting the bag. So then that kind of pushed me, that kind of gave me a kick towards getting into Forex. My friend had a MacBook. It was a 2012 MacBook. It's broken now. I broke it by accident by wiping the computer. But skipping past that, my friend had a 2012 MacBook. I told him, bro, let me this MacBook. I promise you, once I started to make money, I'm gonna buy you back one. I still keep that promise in the back of my head up to this day. I said, once I started to make money, I'm gonna buy you a new MacBook. That's what I said to him. He lent me the MacBook for over a year and a few months, over a year and like 2-3 months. But when I borrowed that MacBook, the coincidence was, and I'm kind of glad this happened to me. Most people look like this is a bad thing. When I borrowed that MacBook, I lost my job. I lost my job. So they laid me off. They gave me a paper to sign. I signed the paper. They said once they find a new opportunity or a new position or something within the job that I was doing, they're gonna call me back. I was like, this is a great opportunity. In my head, this was a great opportunity. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna take this 6 months and learn Forex. Learn everything that I can about Forex within this 6 months. Like, just put myself morning, like day and night on YouTube, trying to learn Forex. I bought one course This was from a guy called Odin Forex. Shout out to him. About this one course, and it wasn't. His course is good, but it wasn't helping me. So I was in day and night learning Forex, and then I come across ITC. Stop right there. I don't trade ITC, but I come across ITC. This was great knowledge in my head at the time. This nigga had so much YouTube videos about like everything. So I was like, this is great. I started to learn this concept. Even had a book. So I had a book. This is the book here, right? Sorry about the noise. This is the book here. Pages after pages after pages after pages, day and night, trying to learn ITC strategies. It wasn't resonating with me well because of how he trade. It was so complicated and complex to my head. I just wanted to something simple that I can just get into, right? This time I keep trying this strategy. I started to buy books about Forex, about risk management, about mental health and stuff like that. I have those books on audiobooks. There's a bunch of books. Trading in the Zone, The Best Loser Win, which I recommend that book, The Best Loser Win, the best book ever. I started to buy books, audiobooks, because I didn't want to take the time to read like hardcover paper books, right? So I started to buy books, audiobooks, which I could read on the way of going to work, or I could read going on the road. At the end of that 6 months, they called me. Within that 5th month, they called me. My workplace called me and said, hey, is this Akil? We got a new opportunity. We want you to come in to do an interview. I was like, okay, cool. Then I get another email saying that the interview is gonna be over Zoom. I was like, this is better. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not a guy that shy away from interview, which I'm pretty confident I can blow to any interview and get to work. So during that interview, because my brain was so into Forex at the time, while I was in the interview, I was thinking about Forex. I was thinking about Forex while I was in the interview, and I was thinking, is this what I really wanted to do? Like, go back to work. Is this really something that I wanted to do at the time? And I remember saying that to myself. And then while I was reading the book said to me, what makes you different from other traders? I started to think about that as well, right? I started to see TikToks of people saying that they've been doing this for over 2 years, 3 months, 5 years, 6, still not profitable. That kind of scared me. But that is good. Scaring me is good, right? And I did the interview, didn't get the job. They called me again for a physical interview this time. I go in, I did the interview, didn't get the job. At this time, in my head, I can trade. I know how to trade. This is about 6 or 7 months in, right? In my head, I'm like, I know how to trade. So I'm gonna go back again and try to get a job and stuff all my money into trading. Bro, that did not work. I told you, bro, living in Jamaica is stressful. So at the time, I went to get a job. I went to get a job at another call center. I'm not gonna name this call center as well. I went to get a job at another call center. I go to the call center. They had so much rules. Rules. Bro, I just wanted to trade. I did get the job. While I was in that interview, funny story as well. While I was in the interview, I was listening to an audiobook, Trading in the Zone. I was so spaced out. There was so many people asking me if I'm okay because I was so spaced out. And I was listening to the book, and in the back of my head is stuff that I need to do or stuff that I need to say in this interview, which this book didn't only help me with trading. This was helping me mentally, which I didn't know that at the time. This was helping me mentally, not only with trading, but mentally. I was, you know, stuff like interview questions, I was keeping saying those back in my head, just building my confidence. Letting anything that they throw at me, I can answer quick and fast off the get-go, right? I went in the interview, get the job. While I was out coming out the interview, somebody stopped me and said, "Yo, you look spaced out. Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine, I'm good." I head back home. I got the job. There's some music in the background if you guys can hear it. Sorry about this, guys. My neighbors play some music, so you guys will be hearing some music in the background. But as I was saying, while I was coming out the interview, someone stopped me, asked me, "Yo, you spaced out, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I did get the job." This for a call center, right? I'm not gonna name the call center. I did get the job, and 2 weeks within that job, I quit. I walked off the job. I went there one morning. Fun story. I went there one morning. They told me that someone just died in front of the gate. It's a unsafe location. They said someone just got shot in front of the gate last night. There was a crime scene. Everyone was late. I was like, what the fuck? And then I went to the bus. And the driver that should take you home, he said this happened often. I was like, nah. This was unsafe for me. I didn't want to do it. I was forcing myself to do it. But in the back of my head, I keep telling, once my dream kicked off or take off, I'm gonna quit. That was one of the stepping stones that was holding me back. The mindset in my back of my head saying, once that dream kicked off, I'm gonna quit. But I ended up quitting 2 weeks into the job. I ended up quitting. Didn't have any way of funding my dream. I did end up finding another there's so many noise. I did end up finding another work, and this is another call center, right? Like I was saying, I did end up quitting my job. 2 weeks into the job, I quit, but I had no way of funding my dreams, stuff like that. But I ended up finding another job. This is another call center. I ended up finding another job. Went to the interview. I got the job. I remember this like it was yesterday because the training was 90 days. The training was 90 days, and I stayed during the training. But they had some rules as well. 2 days that count as a day you miss. If you lay 4 days, that counts as another day you miss, and that's a termination. I'm not gonna name it, but yeah. I went to the training 90 days. I was late some of the time, not gonna lie. But the trainer, she's a nice lady. I did get through the training process. At the end of the training, I went to their production floor. I stayed there for roughly 4 weeks. 4 weeks, I think it was a month. Yeah, roughly a month. But the end of that month, I remember it like it was yesterday. The week prior to the end of the month, there was this girl on the production floor. She had a shift where it was from, I think it was 12 to 9 or something like that. And she said to her supervisor that she cannot do the shift anymore because the time that she's getting home, she lived very far. The time that she's getting home and had to get up to come back to work is that she's not getting any sleep at all. And he said to her, get used to this because this is going to be the next 50 years of your life. Bro, that shit punched me in my head. I was on a call. I mute that shit and that shit punched me in my head. And I was like, bro, this is not gonna be my fucking next 50 years of my life. The next week prior to that, I went to work. While I was walking down to work, bro, I stopped. And I was like, is this really what I wanted to do for the rest of my life? And when I stopped, I continued to walk. And when I reached the door, I saw my supervisor. I reached the door. I saw my supervisor. She looked at me. I looked at her. And she was like, "You're late." I was like, "I know." And I stepped in and I stepped back out. And I told her, "I'm quitting." I told her I'm quitting. That was roughly 4 months at that work. I told her I'm quitting. This is not for me. This is not what I wanted to do. And I quit. I was at home again. In another job. I found another job. This job was very nice, very good. This is another call center. Not gonna name this. The environment is very nice, very good. I loved it here, but this is still not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I end up going through the trading, staying on production. One of the reasons why I stayed was because of the people in the environment. They were very nice. But when I was reading a book, there was something in the book that the guy said to me. He said, "Start to live your life day by day and see how your life drastically changed," right? And started to think about it, like, what if I die tomorrow? God forbid. What if I die tomorrow? Would I be happy? Anything can happen to me when I was coming out my house. Anything can happen to me when I'm going to work. Would I be happy? And my answer was no. Because that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a full-time trader. I wanted to change my family. I had some promises that I wanted to fulfill to my mom, to my bro, to my friends, everyone. And then it clicked in the back of my head. Who is stopping you? Who is stopping you? Nobody is stopping you. You need to take this right now and do what you want to do. Nobody's stopping you. Your tomorrow is not guaranteed. And when that clicked in my head, I was like, fuck this job. I'm quitting as well. During that week, I took a vacation. I was like, because I was skeptic on going back and not going back and going back and not going back, and what if I don't work out? What if this work out? What if this don't work out? And stuff like that. But when you don't believe, that's when it don't work out. And I stopped thinking about those stuff, and I quit. Officially quit. Sending my resignation, everything. Quit and said, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go full time. Going full time is hard because you have so much free time on your hand. It forced you to be in the charts every day. Sometimes you feel like you're not even doing too much. Sometimes it get overwhelming. Sometimes you hit some losing streak, which you have to figure out how to come out of that shit, bro. Once you figure out how to come out of that, that is your stage next to leveling up. This is what I love about trading. Within that whole almost 2 years, no, not almost 2 years, a year and 6 months, my mind changed completely. My mind changed completely. Trading healed wounds that I had, and I thought I didn't know how to heal them. Trading healed relationship wounds, mental strain, anything that you can think of. Trading healed this. And if I had to say to anyone that is on the path that they don't want to do, or on a path that they think is not for them, nothing is stopping you, bro. There is nothing in this world that is stopping you. Your tomorrow is not guaranteed. If you feel like this is not for you, you stop and you do it. I know some people's situations are different, but if you really, really think about it, all of our situations are the same. This life, bro, funny and crazy how it sounds, this is the game. And if you're not leveling up, you're losing, because you're stuck at the same level and not moving. There was a famous artist, big artist. He said, slow progress is better than no progress. Slow motion is better than no motion. And that is so true. And that's gonna conclude everything and the reason why I quit. I left and I never looked back. If this takes me 10 fucking years, 5 years, 6, 7, 9, 10, I'm gonna get there. One day, I'm gonna get there. Consistency doesn't guarantee that you're gonna be successful, but showing up every day, which is the same thing as consistency. Fuck that shit. But one day, some way, somehow, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna get my mom where she should be, and my family where they should be. You get what I'm saying? I also is this that we don't know what tomorrow brings, right? It's like tomorrow is a reset for everyone. But if we're not resetting, we're stuck. And that is that. Peace out, YouTube.